Today we're roasting and fixing this cold DM script that one of you guys commented below my video. Then we're going to go through how to set up the ad account step by step so that you can actually deliver on the results that you're promising in this script right here. My name is Roman Peshke. I run a $13,000 a month AI automation agency, and I record these videos every single day. I answer your guys' questions below any of them. So here is the DM flow for a remodeling niche. So do you guys do any renovations? Hi, thank you for contacting CPS, automated message here. If you're looking for digital advertising offers, we aren't interested. This is not marketing stuff. You won't spend a cent on it. I actually made a 5-minute video showing you how we helped TileCloud land 2 to 3 high-ticket jobs in 30 days, and how we can do the same for you. We get the lead, qualify them, book them in for a quotation meeting, and close them, getting the contract signed for you while also collecting the deposit. If you don't profit within 30 days, you get a full service delivery fee refund. The video is worth your 5 minutes. And then this is just another version of that exact thing. So there's some good and some bad here, but let's start with the good. You have a little blurb here about some social proof. That's nice. You are hopefully sending them a personalized video, which is nice. A little bit long, but we'll talk about that later. And this offer is pretty sweet. Get the lead, qualify them, book them, and sell them. That's solid, and get a full service delivery fee refund. So solid offer right there. Now for some critiques. First line, I think, could be improved pretty significantly by taking a look at their social profiles and pulling in a custom complement for the business. So if you look at their reviews or a recent job that they've posted, being able to complement that right off the rip would be a good way to do it. And I wrote up a sample kind of redo with an example conversation here that I'll be referencing. So fill that in with a custom compliment. So you say, hey, first name, saw that recent bathroom model you posted. Any chance you could take on 2 more quote slots this week? Speaking their language a little bit and make them feel a little bit good here so that you actually did your research. Now, let's say you run into this, like, we're not interested in marketing. We have this down here too. You say, no problem, this isn't marketing. Line break, so this is one text. So one issue is that this is all in one massive paragraph that looks like you're just copying and pasting it. And to come across as more of a real human, you break it up in text like a normal person would. So, no problem, this isn't marketing. Send. We just help fill quote slots and close jobs. No retainer, no gimmicks. Send. You cover the ad spend and only pay when we bring you signed contracts. So that whole paragraph is broken up into 3 separate texts here, and then we reference the social proof down here. So let's jump back into this. The next critique is asking them to watch a 5-minute video is pretty brutal, especially off of a cold DM. I don't think anyone's really, I think the take rate is going to be very low. So if you could drop this down to a 45-second video that references the TileCloud stuff and how you could apply it to their business, I think that is much more appealing. Even if you're using something like Loom, you could record a video that's longer than 45 seconds and then just set the default playback speed at 1.5, and then you can kind of wiggle it down, like up the playback speed to whatever is required in order to get it to that 45 seconds. And then the percentage likelihood that they will actually watch that video will go up quite a bit. So back to our example conversation over here. Put in some info on if they ask about if you just run the ads or just do follow-up or what. And so here's how you can phrase that. Both. Send. We start with your missed calls and old leads, no new ad spend, and if it performs, we layer in the ads to scale. So again, this is for a client that is not interested in marketing, and so this is a bit of an alternative offer that you can rotate in, that you can then use to upsell them into your primary offer, which would be running the ads and then doing all the follow-up with them. Then just some more sample info right here. What kind of jobs do you target? just make up some dummy data unless you actually do have that experience under your belt, and then you can let them know what size remodels you are going after so that you can deliver the best client results. And then you can see right here, I recorded a 45-second loom breaking down how we help TileCloud land 2 to 3 high-ticket jobs in just 30 days using our system. Now, instead of 2 to 3, you have a firm number. So 3 is more believable than 2 to 3. Because if this is a real testimonial, then it's not 2 to 3. There would be a hard number that actually happened within those 30 days. So by saying 2 to 3, you come off as disingenuous and not trustworthy. But then you do a line break and you do your next line right there. So want me to send it here? Boom. Okay, send me something, sent. If it looks good, want to jump on a 10-minute setup call this week. So cool. I'm going to review this neutral prospect scenario too. Same intro, maybe what's it about. We help contractors book and close more jobs. Super simple to understand. We run your ads, follow-up, and missed past inquiries. Only charge per deals closed. You cover the ad spend, no retainer, no monthly fee, just per signed contract. I'm not really looking for marketing right now. Totally fair. This isn't marketing. It's filling your calendar with qualified quotes. Turn them into deposits. Again, every line here, every separate line break is a separate message. So it's filling your calendar with qualified quotes, turn them into deposits. And we actually start by working with your existing pipeline, so no new ad spend, just to prove that it works. Okay, how do you charge? Flat fee per closed job. You only pay when the contract deposits are in. If we don't close, you don't pay. Got any proof? Yeah, recorded 45-second loom, blah, blah, blah. Again, remove the 2 to 3, just use 3. Want me to send it? Sure, cool. If it looks solid, would it be crazy to do a quick 10-minute setup call this week? And then if you get to the point where you're sending looms and they don't respond, I just send a couple of memes as follow-ups to try and get them to re-engage over the next couple of days there. So that is it for the DM section. But now I'm going to jump into an ad account, sample ad account, because you shared your setup right now and it's a bit outdated. So let's run through the old setup first. Just right here, which you're doing. And if you could review my Facebook ad campaign strategy, it'd help a lot. Lead campaign, manual. Name the ad set, accept terms and conditions, that's cool. Cost per goal, ignore. Dynamic creative, ignore. Set daily budget, cool. Start day, that's fine. I usually go for 4 a.m. End date, looks like you're just doing it for 14 days. That's okay. I'd still prefer a daily budget and then just like set a reminder on your phone to kill it after 14 days. Budget scheduling, ignore. Ad scheduling, ignore. Cool. Add cities agreed and reasonable radius geoblock cities around. I would skip the geoblocking. Advantage audience, switch to original. I would skip that. Age 22 to 55. That's okay. Detailed targeting, skip that. Household income, skip that. Advantage detailed targeting, incorrect. Manual placements, bit outdated. A/B test off. That's cool. Name the video ad. Add the media. Copy. Crop to recommendations. Yep, make sure everything's in the safe space. That's dynamite. So let's, okay. And then description outline, blah, blah, blah. If predicted audience size is greater than 3,000, run interest campaign. If predicted size is less than 3,000, run broad campaign. I would disagree on that too. So, and then verifying OTP for the phone thing in Australia. Sorry, I cannot help you with that one. Just because I don't really know what you'll be using it for. I don't want to have any liability on my side. So, sorry about that. But I will run through the ad account setup really fast right here. So, inside here, click on create, buying type, auction. That's cool. Gonna go leads, continue. Lead campaign, name it whatever. What was it? Remodel 1, campaign budget, dynamite. Set your daily budget right there. Click on next, ad set, and do gold, 10 miles. So this would be like whatever the service area is around the business. So it would be X amount of miles. Instant forms. Yeah, sure, that's fine. This is all dummy data anyways. But yeah, I do instant forms unless they have a dynamite website. Even then, I tend to prefer instant forms for local lead gen. And then maximize number of leads. Yep. If you have like conversions API set up and all that kind of stuff, you can do maximize number of conversion leads. But for the 14-day trial thing you're talking about, I doubt you'll have that set up. So if the goal is absolute speed over everything, go with maximum number of leads. Dynamic creative, off. Budget strategy, leave that alone. Ad set, spending limits, don't touch that. Start date, I always prefer 4 a.m. just because less likely to waste a little bit of ad spend during the wee hours of the morning. Ignore show more settings. Audience, again, we're going location based. So we're going to pick an address. Let's go Sydney. Cool. Then we can get rid of United States. And then, yeah, let's say the service area is 25 miles around the business being right there. That's cool. I would ignore the geofencing. That's a little bit out of date. This looks like a new feature. And I would turn it off. Yeah, they're traveling. So I'd turn that off because you're doing remodels. You don't want people traveling. Let's see. Review requirements. No, that's cool. Suggest an audience, leave that alone. Custom audience, leave that alone. For local lead gen, super unnecessary. It'll just kind of hurt what you're giving Facebook to spend with. Placements, I just leave as automatic. Keep them all on. And then just click on next. Then inside the ad, you give it a name. Video 1. Ad setup, single image or video. Instant form, create your instant form there. If you end up having an issue with lead quality, you can turn on require SMS verification to submit the form. That'll make them enter in like a 6-digit code after they fill out the form or as they're filling out the form, and it'll help to better qualify who's doing it, but you'll also see an increase in cost per lead and a decrease in total lead flow. So that's something to consider if you're filtering through a bunch of junk. Chat follow-up with leads. Up to personal preference, depending on what your follow-up is going to be. You could use this or you could not. This will send in a messenger. So if you have access to that and you already have, like, if you already know what that sequence would look like from Messenger, you can go ahead and do that. And we'll go into ad creative. I believe you're doing video ads. So select that, you pick your video, and then make sure it's cropped right. Set up and let me go into here. I don't want to expose any sample data. All right, cool. This is fine actually. So you go to upload the video. So set up creative, video ad, and click on upload. Let me hide it again really quick. Let's use this. Cool. So you upload your video to the account. You can also pull stuff directly from the Facebook page right there. You can click on next. Trim, don't need to trim. Crop is already fine because of the dimensions of the thing. This is where you set your text. So primary text, especially the first 2 lines of this, are going to be seen before the fold. So those are the most important. I would include a local area call out to your target market. So for example, if I'm running ads for moms in Fair Oaks, let's say attention Fair Oaks moms, and make sure that is clearly visible in the first 2 lines of ad copy there. Then the rest of it, honestly, you can just grip and rip what other people are running and tweak it to fit your messaging. Headline, I would just reiterate whatever the offer is, as long as it's nice and short. Description, you can skip, not super necessary. Call to action, I've found that learn more gets better engagement overall, but that I'm not going to give that as a hard rule across all platforms. Enhancements, text improvement, fine. Enhanced call to action, fine. If there's one that says translate languages, I would turn that off unless you're prepped to handle multilingual leads. Creative testing, I would skip that. Tracking, if you have it, set it up, and then create your ad variations by just duplicating, swapping out that creative, and then you're good to rock. So hopefully that was helpful. I got my start in like the local lead gen ad world, so that is pretty much click by click how I'd go through and set it up. And yeah, I mean, I've managed 500K in ad spend, I would say, is like a pretty reasonable amount as a guesstimate. So not huge by any means, but I have been doing it. And yeah, so daily update 6:04, bang bang. What did I do today? I actually signed up another client, so I didn't want to put the updated revenue at the start of this video because I felt like I already had a lot going on with a different format. Didn't want to introduce more variables, but yeah, making some more money. Booked the next onboarding call with that guy, and so it'll just be making sure that everything goes smoothly. I'm not gonna make any changes to the onboarding sequence right now, just because I don't really have a reason to, and I don't want to. And I know there's like a 20% cost of change if I do go ahead and make any tweaks. So I just kind of want to leave it where it is, see where it settles out, and then probably go from there. Another thing, inside school, tiers are supposed to drop this by the end of this month. So I'm excited to be able to implement that in the martial arts business consulting programs that we offer, just because then we can get everyone under one roof. And then we can also use the higher level of service calls that not everyone has access to as a mechanism. We can use those calls as a mechanism to upsell people onto that premium tier of membership there. So very excited about that. Should be banging. Outside of that, love y'all. Hope you like this video. Have any questions, drop them below. If you stayed it to the end, you're a real one. Subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.